All right, I'm going live again. I did this video already once, but it was just way too much background noise. So, without all the background noise, we're going to do this again. Okay, so this is entitled The Elaboration on Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 7, from the other video that I made. And I want to focus on sometimes when we're using our Strong's Concordance and the word, I guess we get stumped on the word because we see what the word is saying in the Strongs, but then we're trying to interpret in English what the word is actually saying. Okay. Now, um, one way to actually help you translate a word compared to what might be said in like Strong's Concordance that might seem confusing, particularly with the verse regarding the charge that's given by the Shelomith woman. The last word of that sentence is shetech pots. Okay. And it looks like this. Okay. It looks like this. All right. So this is the word. Okay. Shetech pots. Okay. Now the root word is cha, pe, and zade. Okay. Meaning in the Strongs, it means like desire, want, um, delight in, take pleasure. Okay. Now, I use this book right here to help me to decode certain words that might be a little bit more complicated to try to interpret. Okay. Let's say you look at the Strong's Concordance, but it doesn't seem very clear how it would read in the sentence, like in the case of this particular verse. So the best thing to do is to break down what the root word is actually saying. So I'm going to go through meanings. Okay, so the first one is a shin. Shin usually illustrates consuming, okay, pressing, eating, destroying, okay? So it gives you this illustration. All right. The next verse, not the next verse, the next letter, the next Hebrew letter is a tau. Okay, tau usually represents like a mark, a sign, a stamp, a symbol. Is usually generally reflecting covering something. Okay, also to cover. So in this case, you're pressing and covering. Okay, press, cover. All right. So just keep that in mind. Press and cover. Now, het is like a fence. All right, a het in the Paleo Hebrew, it looks like almost like a little fence. All right, to protect. All right, to protect something. So you're pressing with a cover to protect something. Okay, or to serve as a barrier to block something. Now, the letter here. Okay, that was the het. Now, the pay. The pay The pay is for the mouth, okay, or an opening, okay. The mouth. Now, the zadeh, okay, is usually for like to separate. Okay, when we think about, we use zadi, words that represents like righteousness, to separate, to make holy, to set apart. Okay, so it's really the illustration of the zadeh here is to set apart, to separate something. So if you have the pay right in front of the zadeh, it's like the mouth, okay, like the mouth separating. So it gives you this illustration, okay? If you use this book to help you see the actual word picture of it, that's the illustration it gives. So the pay is your mouth and the zadeh is the lips, okay? It's separating, okay? So, but the first three letters give you the action of what is happening to the mouth from opening. Okay, you're pressing with a cover to protect the mouth from opening. Essentially, you're doing this or you're doing this. All right, it's pretty much a way of saying be quiet, right? So when you take this text, you can, to what I was saying earlier, Okay, so the action that the shin and the tau and the het gives is oppressing the cover to protect the mouth from opening. The pressing the cover to protect the mouth from opening. So you have this action. So when she's giving this charge in verse 7 of Song of Solomon, okay, chapter 2, verse 7, all right, as I read before, when she says, I put you under oath, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or the does of the field. Do not stir up nor awaken love. It doesn't say my love. It's just love. Ha, ahaba. Okay, the love. Ad, it can mean until or as long or as much. When it says he pleases, that's not the verb tense that's being used here. It's actually, I think it's like she feminine, something like that. But it's pretty much just saying, be quiet. Don't say anything. Okay. Don't try to stir up stuff. All right. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm still trying to figure out the verb tense for the stir up and awaken. Because it's a little bit different. It could mean like don't stir up now and don't stir up in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like don't stir up now and don't stir it up in the future. Okay. Until, not until, but for as long as is desired, okay? So essentially that last word in that sentence, okay, is pretty much this action. Like, don't say anything at all, okay? So essentially, you can interpret this as the daughters of Jerusalem are supposed to suppress any love feelings that they might have towards the Shelomith beloved, okay, for forever, essentially. They're just supposed to keep quiet. It's like saying, behave yourself. Don't come around me or him and act a certain way, okay? That's what essentially is implying, that particular action. So this is what this is really illustrating, especially if I take it from the actual word picture of each letter. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies some things there from that previous video. Okay, with that I say shalom, shalom. Pardon the interruptions. Shalom.